Good morning, everyone. Please rise as Grand Marshal Neville Vaccaria, Dean of the Pannoni Honors College, carries the Drexel University mace. The procession will follow. Remain standing as the national anthem is sung by Dana David, architecture major in the Antoinette Westphal College of Media Arts and Design in the class of 2026.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the balls bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Please. That's a tough act to follow, but I will. Wow, amazing, thank you. Good morning. So, welcome everyone to Drexel University's 2024 Convocation Ceremony. Thank you for being here. As Provost, it is my absolute pleasure to see our distinguished faculty, professional staff, students, and trustees gathered with us here today. I'd like to extend a special welcome to our newest dragons, the over 5,500 graduate and undergraduate students who have joined our community this fall. How about a round of applause for our new students? I'd also like to acknowledge our interim president, Dennis O'Brien, as well as, you can clap for Dennis. I have 3 more, so hold your applause until I do all 3. I'd also like to acknowledge some of our new academic leadership, including Emily Roper, Dean of the College of Nursing and Health Professions, Neville Vicario, Dean of the Pannoni Honors College, and finally, I want to acknowledge my colleague, Dr. Kevin Owens, who has been an exceptional advocate for faculty and partner to my office in his role as chair of the Faculty Senate. So, thank you. Each year at Convocation, we come together to celebrate the inspiring contributions of our faculty and professional staff who bring our academic mission to life. This year, Convocation falls during a pivotal time as we stand at the threshold of Drexel's academic transformation. We've had some difficult conversations over the past few weeks, and big changes certainly lie ahead. Yet, from the very founding of our institution, a willingness to embrace change has been threaded throughout our history. Our model of partnering with organizations and communities provides not only a firsthand understanding of societal needs, but also the opportunity to address those needs with cutting-edge research and insights. Today, we are consistently ranked among the topmost innovative universities. So there's no doubt change and innovation are part of Drexel's DNA. Unlike many of our peer institutions, we've spent the past few years questioning the way things are done and imagining new possibilities. We have asked ourselves, what does a better Drexel look like? Through the strategic planning and academic structure processes, many of you have answered this call, drawing a blueprint of an institution that prioritizes quality, consistency, and the student experience, facilitates flexible student pathways and new opportunities for cross-disciplinary collaboration, and broadly signals its value to prospective students and partners. Feasibility studies confirmed that this new structure, built on the foundations of our distinguishing strengths, could become a reality. Now, we are entering a time of transformation, and all of us are the architects and builders of that change. We must draw on the expertise of our academic units and our broad institutional knowledge to design the implementation and bring detail to those blueprints. We must share ownership in the transformation, putting trust in our colleagues to put forth their best faith effort. This is not the easy way. True evolution rarely is. What we have proposed will require each of us extending outside of our comfort zones and working together in new ways, while staying firmly rooted in our foundation, the innovative, experiential, community-engaged approach to teaching and research for which Drexel is known. Today's keynote speakers demonstrate the world-changing impact that happens when we lean into those differentiators. Our community is filled to the brim with empathetic, collaborative, solutions-focused researchers, thinkers, creators, and doers who are asking and answering the hard questions each day. The transformation work before us is a path to ensure that we continue to expand the impact of our academic research and scholarly activities long into the future. We are fortunate at Drexel to have a strong institutional memory. Many of us have spent decades building our careers here, seeing Drexel undergo seasons of growth and retraction. 2027 will mark my 30th year at Drexel, which is hard for me to believe, but true. It is also when we aim to complete Drexel's academic transformation. Few times in our history have we seized the opportunity to make institutional change at this scale. I truly believe that we have the foundation needed to bring about this generational change for Drexel. The teams, leaders, and collaborative spirit that is on full display today. And I'm deeply grateful to those who will lead and contribute to this work, as well as our interim President O'Brien, our trustees, and faculty senate for their support and partnership. At this time, it is my honor to welcome Interim President O'Brien to the podium.
Thank you, Provost Jensen, and good morning, everyone. It is a privilege and an honor to have been called to serve this university as interim president. I am grateful for this opportunity to speak at Convocation today. It gives me the chance to express my commitment to Drexel and my confidence in our future. Since this is the Provost event, and since the main purpose of Convocation this year is to showcase and celebrate academic excellence, I will keep my comments brief. I care deeply for Drexel. As a trustee of nearly 20 years and as an alum, I am grateful for the impact that Drexel has had on my life. I admire Drexel for the way it infuses our shared values of innovation and inclusion into teaching, research, and partnership for the benefit of society. I am especially in awe of the superb job Drexel does in preparing students with real-world problem-solving skills and experience to adapt and change and thrive in any economy. There is really no university like Drexel. One of the big reasons for that is that Drexel's saving grace, its self-correcting, self-improving, and resilient nature. Whenever the ground has shifted beneath its feet, or whenever adversity has struck without warning, Drexel has always regained its footing, bearings, and strength to keep moving to true north. And whenever the world changes, Drexel has not only changed with the times, it has also embraced the change and reinvented itself to keep getting better and better at fulfilling our mission. Today, Drexel is in the thick of big change along two tracks: strengthening our academic enterprise and building financial resilience. We have a bold plan for academic transformation that Provost Jensen spoke about a moment ago. And as he shared, this was guided by our dynamic strategic planning process and developed through broad collaboration across our whole community. The plan is perfect for Drexel. It gives our university a blueprint not to just prevail in today's volatile and competitive environment, but also a way to lead in the decades to come. At the same time, some hard choices we are making to strengthen our academic enterprise and build financial resilience are going to be unsettling and difficult. I won't pretend otherwise. But I can promise you three things. First, in everything my senior leadership and I do, we will strive to earn your trust by leaning into Drexel's first value of integrity. We will embrace transparency in sharing information and giving reasons for why we make every decision. We will make sure that there is no daylight between what we say and what we do. Second, everyone, including senior leadership, will be asked to work together to ensure the success of our dual mission to build financial resilience and achieve academic transformation. And third, Drexel will emerge from these experiences stronger in every single way. Examples of exceptional achievement by faculty, by students, and our professional staff will be the rule at Drexel in the future. By building trust, by working together, by learning together, we can make great things happen at Drexel. I am excited about our shared future, and I hope you are too. Thank you very much. And now I am happy to turn the program back over to our Provost, Paul Jensen.
Thank you, Dennis. It is now my pleasure to introduce the first of our three keynote speakers. Each of our keynote speakers is guided by a sense of purpose and deep commitment to broad impact through research, teaching, and community engagement. Their stories serve as an inspiring reminder of what makes our work so meaningful and uniquely Drexel. Our first speaker, Dr. Annette Gadabeku, is Associate Professor and Chief of the Division of Community Health and Senior Associate Dean of Community Health and Inclusive Excellence at the College of Medicine. Her research focuses on the impact of community engagement on health disparities in underserved populations and on the knowledge, skills, and attitudes of health professional trainees. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Gadabeku for her remarks.
Thank you, Provost Jensen. It is an honor and a pleasure to be speaking in front of you today at this year's convocation. If you asked me growing up if I would be here standing before you, a family physician and Senior Associate Dean of Community Health and Inclusive Excellence at this great university, I would tell you I never saw this coming. It was not on my radar at all. However, I can tell you about the power of just showing up and why I believe this concept has shaped my life and career in such a profound and transformative way that maybe one day I'll write a book about it. As a little girl, I was not the one carrying around a Fisher-Price doctor's bag and a stethoscope around my neck. But I knew I wanted to help people. Maybe this was the first time I started showing up to help people. I was always the little helper, but also the little teacher. Whether it was lining up my dolls and stuffed animals in my bedroom or being a tutor and a camp counselor, I always loved to teach. Being a doctor was way back in the background, way far away, as I did not want to follow another thing behind my big sister. It was not until after college, when I was teaching 9th grade chemistry and coaching 7th and 8th grade girls basketball, that I decided to seriously pursue medicine. So I shadowed a pediatrician, the obvious choice, since I was always working with kids. During one visit, I witnessed a disconnect between a doctor and a Black mother with 3 children in the patient room. Now, I may not have known or understood all the medicine going on in the room, but I clearly understood the need, could read the room that held disparity and desperation of a mother and her kids that was so painfully missed by the provider in front of them. I could feel the mother's eyes on me, seeking connection and clarity. I felt helpless, but yet confident. Yes, I could help her. I could do this. I need to do this. I was going to show up, be present, be in the room for those who look like me, and those who I could relate with, and they could relate with me, where I could help, still teach, and inspire. I believe this was the spark of the community health and health equity I did not even know existed for me, nor did I know would become my career, my passion, my purpose, and my calling. Fast forward to present day, the power of showing up has been a theme throughout my career here at Drexel. Amazing and unexpected things happen when you just show up. You never know who you will meet, what opportunities will be afforded to you, what you will learn, what you'll be able to do as a result. For the 15 years that I've been here at Drexel, I've held positions that never existed before. I became the first Assistant Dean of Community Health within the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion in the College of Medicine. Then the first Associate Dean in a new office I was privileged to create called the Office of Community Health and Health Equity. And now, the first Senior Associate Dean in another newly created Office of Community Health and Inclusive Excellence. Each role brought me closer to a dream job I didn't even know existed. Drexel has given me the freedom to be an innovator, to create opportunities for students, faculty, staff, and others who want to show up for their communities, to build programs and curricula from scratch, to teach, to help, and to teach how to help effectively and appropriately those communities in need, to build programs and to achieve the community's best health. At Drexel, my contributions are valued, and I have been able to make my mark, mold a vision that supports the mission, and be a part of a movement that matters. This is why I came to Drexel, and this is why I stay. Drexel's mission is to lead by innovation, creativity, staying on the cutting edge while striving for excellence in research and civic and community engagement. I arrived at Drexel at a time when family medicine was new to the institution and to Hahnemann University Hospital, and community medicine was not really yet developed. In 2019, I was able to open the Division of Community Medicine within the Department of Family, Community, and Preventative Medicine, and later in 2022, the Office of Community Health and Health Equity to support community outreach, clinical service, community-based participatory research, and interprofessional, community-engaged education across the schools, departments, and training programs affiliated with Drexel University to meet the needs of our community. As Drexel University continues to strive for excellence in these areas of education, research, and service, I believe it is important to know the power of showing up, and showing up consistently, and showing up together. I also believe we must continue to partner with our communities and meet people where they are. As researchers, innovators, and teachers, how much better can we be at our jobs when we can be with the people we are doing our jobs for? This is why I'm excited to forge forward with this new cluster of interprofessional transformation called Drexel Health, where I know we will make greater impact with interprofessional students and their education, and for our neighboring communities and their health, wholeness, and well-being. The impact of community partnerships Consistency and interprofessional faculty and student engagement was evident during the pandemic when we received a grant from the Philadelphia Department of Public Health to establish sites for mobile COVID-19 testing and vaccination in the community. At first, barely anyone came. I could count on my one hand how many people showed up. But we kept showing up consistently, reliably, and within weeks, the lines grew longer and longer and longer. That's the power of showing up. It builds trust, creates collaboration, and opens doors of opportunity. In my current roles as medical director of the Healing Hurt People program in the Center for Nonviolence and Social Justice and assistant director of diversity, equity, inclusion in the Sidney Kimmel Cancer Center, I am excited at the prospects of further developing intercollaborative partnerships, training and career pathways to those who are underrepresented, community engagement programming and research, and non-traditional clinical service delivery models to help close health disparity gaps, decrease preventable morbidity and mortality, and improve outcomes. It's clear we stand at a pivotal moment at this university. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that our success depends on our willingness to show up, to bring our best authentic selves, our gifts, our talents, and our empathy to the challenge in front of us. To the faculty, what a privilege it is to be a part of a student's academic life journey, molding hearts and minds, influencing careers, and witnessing growth right before our eyes. I encourage you to keep your heads up, your eyes up, your hearts up, and your mind focused on your passion and expertise, remembering why you came and why you show up every day. To the administrative staff and support staff, we see you, we value you. No, we couldn't do what we do without you. Don't underestimate the work that you do, the pearls of the wisdom that you share while doing your labor of love for education and future leaders. You are essential cogs in the wheel that makes Drexel University propel towards the excellence we strive for. Thank you for showing up. To our students, how will you show up? Be present, be open. Be creative, be curious. Be dedicated, be focused. Be positive, be hopeful. And be confident that no one can do or bring what you can to this lifelong journey of education and success. And to all, I encourage you, even when you don't know exactly what the future holds, even when you don't know why you're in this meeting or why you're in this class, and even when you don't know the perfect path, just show up. It is a path that builds community, new partnerships, relationships, and creates worlds of opportunity we would have not otherwise known. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gadabecco. That was excellent. Thank you. Now to introduce our second keynote speaker. Dr. Matthew Stamm is an associate professor of electrical and computer engineering in the College of Engineering. He is a 2016 NSF Career Awardee. He leads the Multimedia and Information Security Lab, where he and his team develop AI techniques to detect fake media, including deepfake videos, AI-generated images, and photoshopped forgeries. His work has been used to authenticate media for outlets like the New York Times and Reuters. Please welcome Professor Stamm.
Thank you very much for the introduction, Provost Jensen. So I'm here today to talk to you about work that my lab and I do in an area that you probably have not heard of, called multimedia forensics. So like Provost Jensen said, we develop AI techniques to detect fake, manipulated, and AI-generated media, like photoshopped images and deepfake videos. The way we do this is we look for forensic traces that are left behind when media is falsified. So when I say forensic traces, I mean trace evidence in the same way we talk about traces at a crime scene. So if a criminal were to break into your house and try to steal your valuables, they'll leave behind trace evidence, like fingerprints, on everything they touch. Photo editing software and generative AI systems leave behind their own fingerprints. And these forensic traces aren't things we can see, but instead, they're minute statistical relationships between the pixels in an image or video. The work that my lab and I do focuses on characterizing these statistical traces and using them to determine whether an image is real or fake. And to accomplish this, we draw on a subfield of AI known as deep learning. My lab and I help pioneer deep learning techniques that use advanced neural network structures to learn these forensic traces by seeing hundreds of thousands of fake images. Now, using deep learning, we've developed a wide range of media authentication capabilities, ranging from detecting which editing operation was used to manipulate an image, identifying fake content that's been cut and pasted into an image, recognizing AI-generated media, detecting deepfakes, and most recently pioneering the first technique to detect AI-generated synthetic video. I think this is important and exciting technical work, but I think the bigger reason why we do this work is it has important social applications. And building scientific and technical knowledge, then using it to address social challenges, is a core part of our identity here at Drexel. Over the past several years, social networking and high-speed internet have made it easy to share information without a filter to anyone in the world. At the same time, editing software and generative AI systems make it easy to create fake media that can become misinformation or explicitly used as disinformation. An important example of this is a series of fake images my lab helped expose last year. During the Republican primary, the DeSantis campaign used a series of AI-generated images of Donald Trump embracing Anthony Fauci in a campaign ad. This is important because, to the best of anyone's knowledge, this was the first use of generative AI in a misleading fashion by an American presidential candidate. And this isn't unique to the United States. Most recently, we've seen fake and AI-generated media used in attempts to sway elections throughout the world, most recently in the Indian national elections. Now, fake and manipulated media have also been maliciously used in a wide number of other ways. So criminal organizations have used deepfake audio and video content to commit fraud and financial crimes. In one instance, criminals were able to use AI to clone the voice of a company executive and use this to convince others within the company to transfer $35 million to them in a fraudulent transaction. Fake media have even been used to aid in war efforts. Shortly after Russia invaded Ukraine, they circulated a deepfake video of Volodymyr Zelensky purportedly telling his countrymen to throw down their arms and surrender to Russian forces. The scientific and technical advances that we're working on in my lab, with the help of my current PhD students, Tai Nguyen, Daniel Vadadi, Araf Azizpour, and Hameda Hungari, are being directly used to help combat these threats. And while I'm proud of our contributions, technology alone cannot solve this problem. To address this challenge, we need thinkers from a wide range of perspectives, ranging from law, journalism, public policy, ethics, philosophy, psychology, communication, all to come together and offer their insights into this. The challenges we face as society, like the challenge of fake media, are becoming more and more complex. We need people and institutions who are able to draw upon multiple disciplines to address these challenges, and those who are able to do so will help shape our future. This is inherently built into our DNA here at Drexel, and is reflected in the three sides of the triangle on our seal: science, industry, and art. Science represents the discovery of fundamental knowledge and the development of technology that gives us tools to address a broad number of social challenges. Industry represents our ability to put this knowledge and technology into practice so that it can benefit society. And art represents our ability to understand, express, and interpret the broad-reaching human impact of our actions as we address these challenges. The work that my lab does is just one example of how Drexel strives to put these principles into practice. There are hundreds of students and scholars bringing these ideals to life all across campus every day. My challenge to us all during the upcoming school year is not to focus on the small, short-term things that we're doing. Passing your next midterm as a student, publishing your next paper, making it through the next meeting, and so on. Instead, help strengthen and shape the vision of Drexel that we aspire to be. Broaden your perspectives and draw from all three areas on our seal, and use this knowledge to address important, new, and challenging problems. I truly believe that Drexel produces scholars and students who are capable of shaping society now and into the future. It's my honor to be here and work alongside all of you as we rise to these challenges together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Stam. Finally, I'm pleased to introduce Lauren D'Incenzo, Associate Professor of Organizational Behavior at the LeBeau College of Business. With research focused on understanding team effectiveness and the impacts of team composition on processes, leadership, and performance, Lauren has worked with several Fortune 500 companies, governmental agencies, and hospitals using an applied research approach. Lauren is not only an accomplished researcher, but I've seen firsthand she is also an incredibly innovative teacher. Please welcome Professor D'Incenzo.
Thank you, Provost Jensen, and thank you all for having me here today. It is an honor and a privilege. Change, as we all know, is one of the few constants in life. We all face it, and it comes in many forms. Moving to a new city, starting college, beginning a new job, switching from quarters to semesters. Even when we know it's coming and try to prepare for it, change can still catch us off guard and feel overwhelming. Regardless of how we feel about it, one thing my research on leadership and high-performing teams has demonstrated: there is power in embracing change. In particular, in high-stakes environments like surgical teams, we've discovered that while experience and familiarity can be invaluable in complex situations, they can paradoxically lead to complacency in routine tasks. Our study was motivated by a conflict regarding change between surgeons and schedulers. Schedulers are the ones that put operating rooms together based on which staff are available on a given shift. Surgeons argued it made them less efficient to work with different teams. We studied the historical data to see how different team configurations impacted OR efficiency and patient length of stay post-surgery. For uncommon surgeries, the surgeons were right. Working with the same team increased efficiency and improved patient recovery outcomes. But for more common procedures, something like an appendectomy, sticking with the same team led to complacency, and efficiency declined. The lesson here: never set yourself on cruise control. We also learned that being present matters. Being present doesn't mean overseeing every detail, but rather being engaged with your team, where you're supportive and accessible when needed. As modern work environments feature flexible work schedules and virtual collaboration, teams increasingly face situations where members are not consistently present, including the core contributor. In an extension to our surgical team study, we wanted to see how changes in team arrangements impacted performance. The most interesting finding came when we looked at how long the most central person, the surgeon, stayed with their team. Surgeons typically work with the entire surgical team 60% of the surgery, with non-core members like the scrub tech or circulator nurse completing aspects of the surgery without the surgeon present. However, we found that if the surgeon were to be present for 80% of the time, a patient would stay in the hospital a full day less, and this would save the hospital an estimated $3.7 million annually. Now, sometimes the environment forces us to change. The pandemic is a prime example. It forced us to adapt to remote work, and for many in management roles, remote work bred uncertainty and distrust. If I can't see you, how do I know that you're working? This is when leaders must demonstrate presence by showing up as mentors and coaches. Research consistently tells us that empowering leadership, trusting and enabling your team yields the best results. It creates an environment where team members are more effective, feel motivated, and more connected to their work. Ironically, our conversations with numerous leaders revealed a paradox. Many were inclined to empower their remote teams less compared to those in person. This reluctance stemmed from fears of losing control. Psychology tells us that when we're under stress, we revert to familiar patterns. In this case, tightening control at the expense of team autonomy and well-being. The consequences of this were severe. Employee burnout skyrocketed, leading to unprecedented levels of turnover and disengagement. While change can tempt us to grasp for control, resilience comes from trusting others and leveraging collective strengths. By embracing this approach, we can navigate change and emerge stronger. Recently, my research has led me to work with the Army Research Institute, which provided a $1 million grant to study how teams can adapt when change occurs. In the military, change happens frequently and unexpectedly. Just as complacency is your enemy, so is newness. We're exploring what happens when a key member leaves and someone new comes in, someone who knows the task but doesn't know the team. Our goal is to help teams adapt faster because in high-stakes environments like the military, quick adaptation can mean the difference between success and failure. We've already uncovered some interesting findings. For example, when a female leader replaces a male leader who is perceived as strong, the female is unfairly penalized and receives lower ratings on leadership regardless of ability. Especially in situations where teams need to adapt quickly, gender biases will hurt the ability of those teams to perform. Implicit bias exists because we have been exposed to stereotypes or structural inequities. For example, the phenomenon think manager, think male. Research teaches us that the path forward is to acknowledge the bias exists, relabel it, and consciously retrain your brain to think differently. Since its founding, Drexel has been and continues to be an institution that embraces change and understands that to make a difference, to evolve and innovate, we need to think about things in new ways. In fact, it's one of the things that drew me to Drexel in the first place. Here, I get to prepare our students to live in a world of change. In the classroom, I teach students to be adaptable by providing them with experiences to feel uncertainty. They work with new team members and collaborate on different challenges, such as deciding from a list of 12 patients who need kidney dialysis, who are the 3 that will receive treatment. Not an easy question. If you want to know how to work through a difficult situation, experience can help you navigate it. The bottom line, change is ubiquitous. But every challenge is an opportunity. And those who embrace change and find a way forward make the biggest impact. As you all embark on the next change in your life, and as we embark on a collective change together at Drexel, I encourage you to view this change as an opportunity and ask yourself, what can I do with this opportunity to make a difference? Thank you.
Thank you, Professor D'Incenzo. You guys feeling the energy here? Do you feel that? How about a round of applause for our 3 great... It's really inspiring, guys. Thank you so much for sharing your work with us today. The remarks we heard today reinforce the potential Drexel's unique approach to experiential learning, civic engagement, and interdisciplinary research to positively influence society and the lives of individuals and communities. Truly inspiring. So I thank you all here in Mandel Theater for joining us today. I want to extend one last welcome to our new and returning students, trustees, faculty, and professional staff. As we close our ceremony, please rise and remain standing as Grand Marshal Vicaria retires the mace and the stage party leaves the theater. I wish you all the best in the new academic year. Thank you for being here today.